Welcome back to the Mental Dietitian Podcast. I'm your host, Ahren Lynch-Potter. Today's episode is current growing pains that I'm going through, and maybe some things that I'm learning or sitting with that can potentially help you. So, this was an idea of an episode given to me by Kevin Palmieri. If you don't follow him, go follow him. Never Quit Kid on Instagram, and his podcast of over, I think it's almost 1,500 episodes now. Next Level Nation, which is his brand, and then Next Level University, which is his podcast. Yeah, so what are some growing pains that I'm going through right now? What I'm currently going through, which has been a theme, which was this year's theme. My theme this year was stability. Now, I have a very unstable source of income. I sell cars full time. Some months are amazing financial resources. You're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then other months are the complete opposite. So last month I had a very bad month where I basically made almost no money, very little money, quite a lot below what I would need per month to cover my bills and things like that. So what that brought up for me, which was something that I have really been sitting with for a lot of my life, which is feeling unsafe. I feel unsafe when things like that happen, which makes sense. And so far this month, it hasn't been too good too. So it's basically been 2 months in a row of going from very high income for about 6 months straight to 2 months of low income. And still not really being in a place financially where I'm stable. I've still got some debt, still got some taxes with the corporation and things like that. And just the growing pains of that is sticking to a plan, which I have, and not changing the plan due to fear. Now, something I experience, which I've felt a lot of my life, which actually comes from my childhood, especially around money, is there's a real kind of nervous system response where I feel quite scared and afraid and I feel unsafe. What I'm going through is literally parenting myself. This is a feeling that I've felt since I was a very small child, especially around money, due to just not having massive amounts of it in my household. That's all it was. It wasn't something that was abundant in our household. What was love and connection and great food and experiences and all of that, but money was not. So watching myself and watching these deep emotional undercurrents that sometimes flare up is interesting, and watching myself have to parent myself and literally having to talk to myself like, hey buddy, you're all good. Like, it's going to turn around. You'll be fine. You've got some savings. You got some stuff put away. It's okay. And that might be something different for you. A lot of people have it with money because money is an amazing tool. I want lots of it. I know lots of it's going to be flowing my way, but not if I'm afraid of it. Why would something be attracted to me if I'm scared of it or if I don't have a healthy relationship with it? My relationship with money, which sometimes comes up still, especially when there's big contractions in the flow of it, is come here, go away. Come here, go away. Come here, go away, which ties to attachment styles. So when you really start learning about attachment styles, mine attachment style in relationships with significant others is quite often projected onto other things in life too. Anything, could be anything. And my attachment style is what is it? Oh my God, I have a brain block. It is anxious avoidant. Right? So it's anxious avoidant. So anxious avoidant basically means that, say, if I feel like I wasn't getting love, something, I would then start being very anxious and get afraid and then do all these things to get the person's love back. The same with money. So if I get afraid with money, this is a pattern of mine. I'm sharing it with you. And I also have another part of me, which is rewiring this pattern. It takes time, it takes choices. The awareness is not enough. It takes choices. So one of my patterns is, if I feel afraid, I will then put massive amounts of effort so I can not feel afraid anymore, feel stable, feel safe. And then I would start avoiding. So in a relationship, if things aren't going great for some reason, I'll make sure everything's going great again. And then when things are going great, I start avoiding, because the thing that I want, which was a bunch of money, love, abundance, it's here again. Here it is. It's here. And then what I used to do is I would avoid and be like, oh, maybe part of me doesn't deserve it, which was another kind of not enough itis, some kind of version of not enoughness, where the thing that you say you want most, if you really got it, it's the greyhound catching the fake rabbit. You got it. Now what? Oh, I'd prefer just to be chasing it. So that's some current growing pains I'm going through, and I'm watching and I'm observing, and I'm watching myself wanting to make rash decisions so that the feeling of feeling unsafe will go away, or like, so I can feel safe. Here's the thing about life. It is unstable. And what I'm learning is just day by day, do the best you can, release the emotions. I've had releases. I had one this morning where I was sitting there and I have had this feeling in my chest, like quite a tight chest. And I was like, oh, you need to cry. There's this fear in there. And if I don't let it out, just like, I call them like an emotional bladder. Like, there's an emotional bladder. And my emotional bladder is usually within my chest, especially around fear, anxiety, or something like that. It's usually in my chest kind of cavity, and it gets heavy. And I feel like scared or whatever like that. And what I need to do is I just need to release it like an emotional bladder. You just need to let it out. I had a good cry this morning, felt a lot lighter, and had a great discovery call with a potential client, and it looks like he'll be getting coaching with me because I talk about this stuff, and I'm not afraid of talking about this stuff. And it's just interesting when you do your own inner work, people that want to do their own inner work are attracted to you, because the safer a place that I can be for myself, the safer a place I can be for others. And that is really my mission. My mission is to help people realize that they are safe enough to be able to deal with the stuck parts of themselves that they maybe haven't felt safe enough in the past to deal with when I'm coaching them. But I cannot give what I do not possess. So if I do not feel safe, if I do not feel calm, how can I create an environment for somebody else to feel safe or calm? I cannot. Just like, if you do not love yourself, how can you give love to somebody else? It's very difficult. It's usually not love, it's usually fear. So your job is to love yourself. The job is you can't shame and guilt yourself into loving yourself. Oh, if you would just be better if you just do it this way. That's not going to work. It starts off with the little micro moments of like, you know what, man? Good job today. I love you. We'll try again tomorrow. Hey, buddy, I got your back. I love you. I care about you. We can do this. Let's do it. Hey, man, that was a great workout today. Hey, man, great job going for that walk when you didn't want to. Hey, man, really proud of you for apologizing, even though that person hurt you and you know you were in the wrong and you just want to be right so bad, but you know you made a mistake. I'm so proud of you for owning up to that, even if that person doesn't own up to it. Those little moments throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your life, that is how you love yourself. And that's how you find safety. And that's how you heal. And you feel whatever you need to feel along the way. And you be a river versus building dams. So that's one of the things that I'm really working on right now. And it's it's fascinating even talking about it, and just the people that drift into your life. I don't even argue with it anymore. There is something much more powerful that you can call God, Yahweh, the universe, that when you really just start being honest and you really let go of how you think things should be or could be or whatever, and you just feel what you need to feel, it's amazing how things open up. And that thing that I'm kind of dealing with around the not feeling safe, I felt that a lot of my life. And actually, it started before I was even born. Started with my father and his whole life, and then who knows how far it went back. That's what people call generational trauma. And it's something that I'm done with. I want to feel safe. I deserve to feel safe. I deserve to feel loved. I deserve to feel all those things. And the only person that can really give it to me is me, by what I choose to allow into my life, what I choose to create, what dynamics I have with certain people, and what dynamics I'm not okay with that do not bring peace to me. But a lot of people kind of pseudo do that. They're like, well, that person doesn't bring peace to me. I just feel very triggered around them. It's like, are they doing anything? No, it's just who they are. It's like, well, that's probably your shit that you haven't dealt with. But if somebody is just really emotionally immature and you're just like, you know what, it's not a good use of my time continuing the relationship with that person, then you just change the relationship, you change the dynamic. But a lot of people kind of pseudo do this. They're like, oh, that person triggers me, that person triggers me, that place triggers me. And they do it in the name of thinking that they're being having boundaries, or that they are protecting their mental health and things like that. When a lot of the time, what they're actually doing is avoiding things that create a feeling that they don't want to feel. They don't want to work on it, so they avoid it. But you can get to a place where it's just, you feel very centered and you choose what you engage in. You choose, does this fill me up? Does this drain me? And if it drains me, how long am I going to let it drain me for? How long am I going to choose to participate in this situation? It could be a workplace, it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be whatever, relationship with your parents, relationship with your sister, brother, uncle, auntie, whatever. How long am I going to participate in this, and where's my limit? And these are all things I'm watching within myself. And these are the current growing pains I'm going through. And hopefully that my testimony, my message can help you. And that's all this has ever been about. It's just, hey, I'm trying to fucking figure it out too. And in my figuring it out, even though you never figure it out, there's never a destination. You're constantly expanding, constantly figuring, recalibrating. In my recalibrating and my figuring out, I've learned some things, and I've learned some amazing tools from myself and from others and from books and all kinds of things that I'm starting to really see that I can deeply help people psychologically and emotionally heal themselves, which is really cool. It's a really cool feeling. So if that's you, if you feel like you need some psychological or emotional healing and parts of you that are keeping you stuck, reach out to me. You know where I am. Ahren Lynch-Potter on Instagram, best place to reach me. Website is about 2 weeks away. It has been a hell of a ride trying to figure this thing out and get all the messaging right and everything, but it's almost live. We're sharing that too soon, and it comes from the heart, comes from the soul. And yeah, here for you. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.